In the year 705, a woman past 80 lay on a sickbed in the Luoyang Palace. She had not appeared at court for a long time. The footsteps outside her door were not coming to pay respects, they were coming to take over. A group of men led by Zhang Jianji entered the inner hall with armed soldiers. She pushed herself upright and asked one question: "Who is behind this?" Someone answered with a few names. Her gaze moved past them and landed on her son, Li Shan, standing behind the crowd. The ringleaders were ministers, but standing behind them was her own son. She probably understood in that moment that this was not a rebellion, but a handover. After that, she offered no resistance. Within hours, everything she had built over 50 years, the new dynasty name, the new imperial clan, the new framework of legitimacy, was erased. History was reset to its previous state so fast it was as if she had never existed, but she had existed. For the half-century before that moment, she was the sole master of the empire. Wu Zetian's entry into the system was itself something like an accident. She entered the palace at 14 as a Keiran, a low-ranking consort to Emperor Taizong. She was not a protagonist. When Taizong died, the rules ran automatically. She was sent to Ganyai Temple and her head was shaved. The nuns of Ganyai rose before dawn each day to chant sutras, day after day, year after year. Wu Zetian sat among them for roughly a year or two. A woman who had once lived at the very center of imperial power, now repeating the same scriptures every morning, waiting for a chance that might never come. But there was an old thread between her and Li Ji, who had been crown prince when she was a Keiran. The two had already had contact that went beyond protocol. After Li Ji took the throne as Emperor Gaozong, he visited Ganyai Temple to pay respects to his late father and encountered her again. A young emperor had emotional reasons to bring her back, but more importantly, he soon discovered political ones. Gaozong was frail and often ill. State affairs were piling up, and the court was firmly controlled by a bloc of old aristocrats led by Zongsun Wuji. He needed someone who did not belong to any existing faction. Wu Zetian was not fighting the system. She was doing something far more astute, turning herself into exactly the person the system needed at that moment. But the first obstacle in her path was Empress Wang. Then something happened that no one has been able to fully explain even now. Wu Zetian's newborn daughter suddenly died, and she accused Empress Wang of killing the child. More than 1,300 years later, how that infant actually died remains unclear. The historical sources do not agree, but the outcome is certain. Empress Wang was deposed and eventually died in confinement. The real adversary came next, Zongsun Wuji. When Gaozong proposed making Wu Zetian empress, Zongsun Wuji refused to his face. But Wu Zetian found another set of allies, lower-ranking officials who had been suppressed by the aristocratic bloc for years. They supported her not out of loyalty, but because her rise meant their own opportunity. After the change of empress succeeded, Zongsun Wuji was exiled to Qianzhou, where he was eventually forced to take his own life under political pressure. A statesman who had served as gatekeeper for 3 emperors lost everything to a woman who had just returned from a temple. From the position of empress onward, her use of the system became increasingly precise. She dramatically expanded the civil examination system, elevating men without family backgrounds into the bureaucracy, using the exams to manufacture her own people. She appointed ruthless judicial officials like Lai Junqian and Zhou Xing to handle treason cases. Lai Junqian reportedly compiled a systematic method for fabricating charges against political enemies, later known as the classic of entrapment. Fear did not need to actually reach everyone. As long as everyone knew it could arrive at any moment, it was already doing its work. She sponsored monks to reinterpret the Great Cloud Sutra, producing a prophecy that the Maitreya Buddha would descend to earth in female form to rule the world. In a Confucian order that did not permit a woman to hold the throne, she did not attack the existing framework head-on. She built an entirely new one alongside it using Buddhism. In the year 690, everything converged. A white stone inscribed with the words, "The Holy Mother shall rule mankind, and her reign shall flourish eternally," was discovered. Officials submitted joint petitions urging her to take the throne. She declined 3 times and then, with apparent reluctance, accepted. A 67-year-old woman sat on a stage she had designed herself and received a crown from a script she had written herself. Everyone knew it was a performance. Everyone had to treat it as real. Her reign was not merely a power play. The empire under her hand ran well, borders were stable, and talent selection became more effective than before. On one occasion, she considered replacing her son as heir with a member of the Wu clan. Her trusted advisor, Di Renji, said one sentence, "Your Majesty, consider, who is closer to you, a nephew or a son?" One line cut through a knot she had spent decades trying to untangle. She could change the dynasty's name and swap out the imperial clan, but her sons carried the Li surname, not Wu. After her death, the Li family would restore the Li dynasty. This was not a conspiracy, it was the arithmetic of blood. So when Zhang Jianji stormed into the inner hall in 705, what actually happened was not a coup, it was a system restore. She had changed who was running the system, but she had not changed the system's underlying logic. The foundational rule of imperial succession had never been rewritten. Legitimate power flows through bloodline. The Wuzhou dynasty she established was an anomaly within that logic. An anomaly can be sustained, but only as long as someone is actively sustaining it. The moment that person disappears, the system snaps back to its default state. She left behind a tombstone with no inscription, no words, no judgment. Wu Zetian ruled the empire for half a century. Every tool she used, the examinations, the secret police, the religious apparatus, the informant networks, none of them were her inventions. They were functions the system already possessed. She simply read the manual more thoroughly than anyone else ever had. But perhaps the truest measure of the system's power is not what she accomplished while alive. It is what happened after she died. Everything returned to its starting point so quickly, it was as though she had never existed at all. One person can temporarily alter the direction of history, but whether history remembers her or pretends to forget her after that person is gone may depend on what kind of person is standing before that wordless stone.